Hey, what's good? It's your boy, Mixtape Moth, and today I'm going to do a review of the new Flea Lord album entitled Pray for the Evil 2. Let's get to it. Flea Lord is a prolific rapper coming out of Queens, New York. He once served as the understudy to the late great prodigy of Mobb Deep, but he's on the current trajectory of dropping one solo project per month for the remainder of the year. He's already 8 deep. This man's work ethic is simply insane, so you gotta hand him his flowers for his overall consistency and hunger as an MC. This project, Pray for the Evil 2, is the sequel to his first installment, which dropped in February, and I have to admit that I wasn't blown away by the MeFucks production on the first effort. Not that it was a bad project, but I didn't find myself caring to revisit it. In my opinion, Flea Lord's strongest effort of 2020 has been the Buckwild produced Hand Me My Flowers. Surprisingly, however, I was actually kind of critical of his People's Champ collaboration with Pete Rock. I know that sounds crazy, like I'm bugging, right? I mean, on paper, what's not to like? You had Flea Lord's grimy New York flow on top of production from the legendary Pete Rock. But as good as those beats were, and let me be clear that I actually liked all of the Pete Rock instrumentals, I just wanted a little more from Flea Lord on the songwriting and lyrical front. I just thought it contained some of his most sloppily put together and rushed bars. Now, I did not get a chance to review his 38 Special project, Loyalty and Trust 2, but I thought it was a step up in the right direction as far as his rapping. In fact, there were a few really dope songs from that project, like Two Pics on a Gram, Auntie, and Both Views 2. So that brings us to Pray for the Evil 2 with MeFucks on the boards once again, but this time around, MeFucks really got my attention with the production. Let me tell you, this man MeFucks was on one as he was cooking up these instrumentals. All of these beats were very vibe heavy and attractive in their own right. MeFucks gave us a nice variety of crunchy boom bap, symphonic soul, gritty loops, and just overall hypnotic instrumentation. There wasn't one beat that I didn't like or one that I felt did not complement Flea Lord or his guest's style. And that brings us to the guests or the featured artists. Flea Lord brought along the following: Evidence, Rock Marciano, Westside Gun, Trey the Truth, Ito, Keisha Plum, and 38 Special. All guests came correct and did not disappoint. I actually thought it was a little refreshing to see Flea Lord collaborate with artists outside of New York like Trey the Truth and Evidence. And one last thing before I break down each song, I thought Flea Lord stepped it up in the lyrical department on this tape. As much as I like his music, let's be honest, when it comes to songwriting and structure, he has some room to grow. But I feel that on this project, his bars were a little sharper and harder hitting. So with that being said, let me go ahead and give y'all this track by track breakdown. The Pray for the Evil 2 intro features a vocal excerpt from DJ Premier before Flea Lord starts rapping. There are also scratches, compliments of DJ Boogeyman, who Flea Lord shouts out. MeFucks provides us with a very crispy yet mid-tempo boom bap beat. The Lord Finesse vocal scratches are a nice touch. It's just a cool intro that taps into that crate digging, dope beats and fly rhymes aesthetic. Then on Cook Up, we get some celebratory horns that sounds like something lifted off a late 70s or early 80s commercial or game show. It's an exciting loop that brings out Flea Lord's animated vocal delivery. As Flea reminds us, there's power in these horns and thunder in these drums. Jungle Brother vibes, I'm coming from the slums. This features a pretty decent verse from Evidence, who has been utilizing an extra slow flow as of late. I thought it was dope how Flea went to the West Coast for a feature here. It just added some variety to his usual underground New York guest list. What follows is the track Ice Water featuring the God Rock Marciano. This beat contains a string sample that gives off a very icy and otherworldly kind of quality. Flea tells us that his slow flow is unmatched. You don't know, get gun clapped. Rock Marciano delivers with his characteristically low-key flow. So far, Flea Lord was 3 for 3 out the gate, but I really like the chilly yet hypnotic vibe to this instrumental. Up next, we get the West Side Gun featured R&B Lords. This has a really lavish and regal sounding instrumental that could easily have been on any of the last 3 West Side Gun projects. I didn't necessarily care for Gun's feature, but he brought about that playful energy, which can be either appealing or annoying, depending on your mood. Flea Lord sounded pretty confident, flexing his wit, as well as dropping some jewels like eat what you kill on the streets for real, keep it 10 toes down, never squeal. The following track, Drifty Delgado, is only 1 verse, but I like the eerie and wavy instrumental. Flea proclaims that the guitars and drums hit spooky, and I can definitely agree. Probably the biggest surprised or unexpected moment on this project came from the Trey the Truth featured I Remember Back. I'm saying this because as someone who likes Houston hip hop, I thought it was dope that Flea and Trey the Truth collaborated. It's actually one of the highlights on this tape, in my opinion. Trey and Flea are reminiscing and reflecting on coming up back in the day. This record has a very gentle, nostalgic, and feel-good quality. I liked how Flea went outside of his traditional realm and showed some diversity. After that, we get another 1-verse song entitled Cigar and Remy Tunes. Flea flexes his braggadocio and wordplay with lines like, we gon' toast until the glass breaks. I done sold half-eighths to my classmates. Drop a white brick on a glass plate. Flea'll turn your favorite rapper's face into an ashtray. It's simple yet witty lines that are often found throughout Flea Lord projects, where he comes across as this charismatic goon that can be straight up serious, but you can tell he's also exaggerating somewhat. I think this juxtaposition is what makes his music so entertaining. The following song, Get Off the Train, finds Flea Lord and Ito, who both have great chemistry together, going in over this very dusty and crunchy soul loop. Ito is giving out gems and almost parables with lines like, don't sink ships, get to know the pirate, and get off the train even if you miss the bus ride. I thought Flea Lord had a dope verse. Plus, I really like this dirty and rugged sample. Up next, we have Plum Philosophy, which features some spoken word from Griselda affiliate Keisha Plum. The vibe here feels like a dimly lit jazz club in the 1930s, like something out of Bumpy Johnson's Harlem. I kind of want to hear Keisha Plum do a rap song. The spoken word stuff is cool, but at this point, I think it would be interesting to see how she would sound if she was just spitting. Then we have another snippet of a track entitled Offer Me a Salary. It's all about the vibe and the instrumental for me with these particular short songs, because let's face it, a 16 from Flea Lord doesn't carry the same weight that one from, let's say, Ransom or 38 Special would have. This isn't shade, it's just a reality. You know, Flea will say some slick stuff here and there, but it's more about his energy and the vibe of the instrumental that I look for on songs such as this. What follows is Take Care of Your Shooters. The pianos are moody and semi-spooky. This actually might be my favorite instrumental on the tape. It kind of reminds me of the production that Big Ghost did for Conway's The Streets Don't Love Nobody. Flea Lord states, this one of the beats that you feel in your soul. Got to play it real low when you weigh in your O's. Something like an orchestra, pianos and the strings, plus the hammers from Queens that'll damage up your spleen. Man, those bars got me hyped. But next up, we have Flea Lord and 38 Special joining forces on the Cautionary Gun line. This contains a really dreamy and ultra smooth sample. 38 states, I made moves when you wasn't ready. I'm light years ahead, but still my influence is heavy. I got all of my schooling from Sebi. They say fools is deadly, so all I'm consuming is veggies. We get some more soulful string production on Don't Call the Policia. It's one of my least favorite. It's not a bad track, but not one that really stands out to me, although I did kind of like the chorus, selling all this cocaina, please don't call the Policia. This project closes out with Pray for the Evil 2 outro. The best part about this is the attractive soul sample. At the end of the song, Flea Lord thanks all his fans, producers, and artists who have enabled him to pump out all of these projects over the course of the last few months. Overall, I give this album a rating of 4 out of 5. I would rank Pray for the Evil 2 as my second favorite Flea Lord project of the year, although it is almost on par with Hand Me My Flowers in terms of its quality. I thought sonically this album was one of his best. Also, the features kept me pretty engaged. Like I said earlier, it was great to see Flea Lord link with guys like Trey the Truth and Evidence. At the end of the day, I still have my hangups with these one verse, short 1 minute tracks, but what I could appreciate was that this album was his longest of the year at 30 minutes, as they are typically only 20 to 25 minutes in length. But after listening to these last 3 Flea Lord projects, I was pondering what if he would have decided to have taken the best 3 to 4 songs from each album and put them all on one project. I think he would have had a classic full-length album on his hands. I mean, just stop and think about the possibilities. Overall, I really like this one, and hopefully his remaining projects for this year are as potent as Pray for the Evil 2. My favorite tracks include Cook Up, Ice Water, I Remember Back, Get Off the Train, Take Care of Your Shooters, and Gun Line. Let me know what you thought of this project in the comment section below. What would you like me to check out next? It's your boy, Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. Flea Lord, Me Fucks, Pray for the Evil 2, 1.